Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, you lovely faces. Day of the Dead. George Romero's 1985 seminal zombie horror movie is actually my favourite of his entire series. Dawn of the Dead is by far possibly the ultimate zombie film, but Day of the Dead for me is my personal favourite. I think it's just because a lot of the stuff they go through, again, you got Rhodes' death scene, which is just phenomenal. Still to this day, the makeup effects, Greg Nicotero and all them did is just mind-blowing. But again, you had Tom Savini, he was the Sultan of Gore and all this kind of stuff they were calling him. And he is horror, no matter what. And when I saw this, I was like, right, okay, maybe this could be good. Because they're doing Night of the Living Dead 2. And as you can see by here, these two are the ones who survived the third film. They go off in the end and they go off onto an island. They get in a chopper and they fly away. We do have the full photo here because obviously you got these two and then you got them by there, You got them all here, Jarlath, Conroy, they're all here. And it's just amazing to see. So this is what we got. As we reported earlier this year, an unofficial sequel to George Romero's horror classic Night of the Living Dead is on the way with Night of the Living Dead 2, which was originally teased by our friends at Rue Morgue. Marcus Slavin is behind this sequel, which features Terrifier star David Howard Thornton as one of the film's shambling undead. We do have a picture of him down below. Additionally, and perhaps most notably, Night of the Living Dead 2 will also bring back three familiar faces from the Romero classic Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead stars Laurie Cardilli will be reuniting with Terry Alexander and Jarlath Conroy in the new movie, and we're exclusively sharing your first look at the reunion today. Cardilli, Alexander and Conroy, it's interesting to note, play three of only a small handful of surviving characters from Romero's movies. Are they playing those same roles in Night of the Living Dead 2? I got something else on my mind with number 3. We'll see about that after. Night of the Living Dead 2 takes place on a remote island where a small group of survivors of the zombie apocalypse take shelter, only to face fresh terror when the flesh eaters find their way ashore. Sounds more like a sequel to Day of the Dead, doesn't it? Which it does, because they're the ones, they got on the chopper, flew out, and they got onto the island. And that is the end of them, with some nice Caribbean music playing. Slavin tells us, with Night of the Living Dead 2, I wanted to tell an original and engaging story with these amazing actors who haven't been together since 1985. They are incredible, and I want to showcase that just because someone is over the age of 60 doesn't mean they can't give a phenomenal performance. During one of Jarlath's scenes, 2 crew members had to leave set as they were crying and almost ruining their take because of how good he was. It's incredible to see the three together with all their chemistry not skipping a beat, since they were all together as well as their zombie killing abilities. We have a ton of surprises and some big name cast that we have yet to announce. Who are we going to have in it? But are wicked excited to have a part of this and are very sure fans will be pleased. The movie is about characters first and story before anything else, but it's still going to be extremely gory and have some great twists and turns. That's all I need. Slavin will be at the Chiller Theatre Convention in New Jersey this weekend promoting the film with Laurie, Terry and Jarlath, and we'll be giving out limited edition posters as well. And it's just great to see them all back because they were the best part of Day of the Dead. Don't get me wrong, obviously, like I said, Rhodes' death scene was just phenomenal. You got Bub, you got so many great, memorable things happening. And especially in Day of the Dead, I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the soldiers, when he has his head ripped off and it starts stretching, and you hear the vocal cords stretch, it was just so well done. Everything was. But as we got by here, as we were saying, we got David Howard Thornton by here from Terrifier as Sharkbait Zombie. But here we also have Jessica Greenwald as the Siren Zombie and Benjamin Frankenberg as the Renegade Zombie storm the shore of the island. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out, because obviously, how do they get there? Did they walk underwater like they did in Land of the Dead? Who knows? But now we're going to go on to our second topic of the video. Jamie Lee Curtis wants to voice the devil in David Gordon Green's Exorcist Trilogy. Now, over the weekend, I watched The Exorcist twice. I watched the normal version, and for the first time ever, I watched the version you've never seen, which is basically the director's cut. And I gotta admit, the director's cut is so much better. It only added a little bit of like 10 minutes on, but it's so much better. These Halloween films that come out, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, they are some of my favourite slasher genre films ever. And I even said that Halloween Kills is most likely the ultimate slasher film ever made, just because of the gruesomeness and the kills in it. But seeing that David Gordon Green is going to do a trilogy for The Exorcist, straight off the first film like he's done with Halloween, I was very intrigued, because The Exorcist, still to this day, in 2 years' time, it's 50 years old. And it still holds down as the greatest horror film ever made. But this is what we got. Jamie Lee Curtis is one of horror genre's most popular heroines, but she is not a fan of the genre herself, which is mad. During a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, she revealed that when she was a teenager, she was so frightened by a viewing of The Exorcist, that her friends teased her about it, and from there she had the thought that maybe she should get involved with the Exorcist Trilogy that her Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills director David Gordon Green, who she'll be working with again on Halloween Ends, is planning to make after he wraps up his Halloween trilogy. I am very, very intrigued about this, I must admit. I'm brave, but I am afraid of scary things. When I was 15, my parents, legendary actors Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, screamed The Exorcist, and my friends teased me the next day because I was so freaked out. I loathe being scared by scary movies. I scare so easily. It's the reason that I'm so good at being in them. It's a natural response to me. I've had this awakening. Why did I end up making my mark in a genre that I loathe? I would be one of those people who would say, you couldn't pay me to go to a horror movie because I hate it. But actually, you can pay me to be scared and you can pay me well. Maybe I should be the voice of the devil like Mercedes McCambridge. You see, if David gives me a part in the new Exorcist trilogy as the voice of the devil, then it is a full circle return for me in a meta way. That would blow people's minds. Yeah, it would actually. It'd be amazing to see. So McCambridge didn't exactly voice the devil, yeah. Little Linda Blair was possessed by a demon called Pazuzu in The Exorcist, but Curtis definitely wins points for bringing her name up like that. When asked if Curtis has talked to him about the Exorcist aspirations, Green replied, "Oh, she has not." I'll have to get her to audition for that one. You know, she did the crying baby for the last Halloween movie, so she's a talented voice actor as well. Well, I'll have to wait and see if Curtis ends up having any involvement with Green's Exorcist movies. We do know that the first entry in his trilogy is set to star Leslie Odom Jr. and Ellen Burstyn, who will be reprising the role of Chris MacNeil from the original film. Odom will be playing a character who tracks down Chris MacNeil after his child becomes possessed. And this is the one thing that blew my mind when I first saw it. Universal and Peacock paid an amount somewhere in the range of $400 million to acquire the rights to distribute this new Exorcist trilogy. Because Warner Brothers are the ones who own it. You know, they own the original anyway. And this is where they want to go from. Coming to us from Blumhouse Productions and Morgan Creek Entertainment, the films are being produced by Jason Blum, David Robinson and James Robinson. Green, Danny McBride and Cooper Samuelson serve as executive producers. Ryan Turek is overseeing the project for Blumhouse. The original announcement informed us that Green crafted the story for The Exorcist 2023 with Peter Sattler, then wrote the screenplay with Danny McBride, who has written all the three Halloween films for him, and the Halloween Kills co-writer Scott Teems. So you got that saying Halloween Ends is scheduled to reach theatres October 14th next year, then The Exorcist will arrive the following year, in October 13th, 2023. And it's just amazing to even think, that this is going to be coming out. But if they're going to be doing a trilogy for this, how have they not got Linda Blair? Why isn't she being sought after? Because they've asked her and she goes, no, I haven't been contacted. Why would you not get the actual girl who did it? Because to be honest with you, The Exorcist 2, The Heretic is just completely it's just so abysmal it should never have been made. But then you got The Exorcist 3, which is Legion, which, one of the best sequels ever, one of the best cop horror films going. And again, it's just William Peter Blatty's, he wrote and directed it. It's absolutely incredible. But those are what we got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So it would be very interesting to see. Let me know your thoughts down below on what you think is going to happen, and I'll see each and every one of you soon.